How's it going? And welcome everybody. My name is Stephen Miller and I am here today with the one, the only, well, maybe not the only. There's probably some other Brant Franks out there.
There might be.
But, because I'm definitely not the one and only Stephen Miller either. There's about a million of us. But anyway, huge welcome to you. If this is your first time joining us on this webinar series, then thanks for being here. Welcome. You guys are amazing. We're going to do some fun things, and there's a few things that you're going to want to key in on. I'll mention those, so just hang tight with us. If you've been here before and this is your umpteenth time being with us again, hopefully we'll do some things that are new and exciting and amazing. I think we're going to, so stay tuned. I will ask, if you are here to learn, then put every distraction away. If you've got your phone, close it out. If you've got your other computer screens, whatever, let's close those all out. Get ready, get zoned in, and get focused because we're gonna cover some really cool things today. Talking about, of course, the Elevate blockchain, what's happening in that world, what that project's all about. We're gonna get into that in just a second here with Brant. But before we start too far down the rabbit hole here, I want to make sure that first of all, you are connected with Connect, right? That you're connected. And to do so, go into the Zoom chat. Make sure that you look at all the different links that have been posted. I believe they should have already been posted there in the chat. There are a number of different social media platforms that you can follow Connect on. And throughout this webinar particularly, we're going to be giving away, I believe, 4 different giveaways. And so be paying attention. Make sure that you are following each of those different platforms because I believe some of the different giveaways are going to have to do with some of those different platforms. I believe there might be 6 or 7. I can't remember the exact number, but just make sure you go through all of the different links that are in the Zoom chat, follow those, or set up, be part of those communities there. That's going to be really important. Now, also, before we get too far down, we want to make sure we go through the disclaimers. I know this is difficult to read. It's kind of small print. You're welcome, though, to take a screenshot of this, blow it up, and read it in the privacy of your home at your own, in your own time. But there are a couple things that I want to cover. Number one, we make no guarantees as to a value or future value of any of the digital rewards here on the Connect platform, any of the participating groups or blockchains on this platform. So that's really important. They are governed by a distributed governance framework or a DGF. If you don't know what that is, you can learn more about that through going to Connect's support site, support.connectunited.com. You can look through all of the different T's and C's and policies and procedures. It talks all about that. So that's number one. Number two, that's also very important. There will be most likely some forward-looking statements here in this presentation, things that aren't yet complete and that are either underway or will be underway soon or that are going to be worked on. So just be aware of that. We'll try to point some of those out as well as we kind of go through. But today is really a conversation about, number one, what is Connect? And then, of course, number two, what is Elevate and why are you interested in learning about Elevate? So let's talk about Connect. Connect is an amazing platform. It's a community. Connect is really, it's comprised of individuals all throughout the world who are crypto and blockchain enthusiasts. Many of those are novices, brand new beginners. Some of those are experts, advanced, individuals, people that have been in the space for a long time. And it's a place where we get to come together, rub shoulders, learn from each other, and contribute to really amazing blockchain projects. That's really what this is all about. And so if you're here and that's what you want to do, then you are absolutely in the right place. And we're gonna invite everyone that's here to be a part of what we're talking about today. Interact. I know we've got the chat, some Q&A. Again, we've got some giveaways that are going to be happening throughout this webinar. So make sure that you're participating. You're playing all out and all in because it's only going to benefit you if you do that. With that, let's kind of turn the corner here just a little bit. Brant and I have known each other for 6+ years now.
It's been a while.
It's been a great time. Brant is one of my favorite human beings on this planet. He is truly not only a great friend, great man, awesome father, husband. Has got a wonderful family who I've also grown to love. But Brant, when I first got to know Brant, was really. I feel like you knew everything, and maybe that's
I totally do.
I know. And when I mean everything, I'm talking about like in blockchain world. I was so brand new coming in. You were part of that kind of core group that I had met and was like learning from the, you had that fire hose that you kind of turned on. All this information that was coming at me, and I was like drowning. And so often I remember I would come to you and I'd be like, Brant, I don't understand this thing. Can you explain this to me? And Brant would take his time and graciously give it to me over and over and over again, answering my questions about like all things blockchain and wallets and key phrases and whatever, all those different things. And I'll tell you, that's one of the benefits of this community is having access to not just Brant, but people like Brant, people that are in the know, people that have been doing this for years and years and years. And some things that seemed horribly complicated in the beginning for me were then made simple and were explained. And that was massive for me. So Brant, thank you so much, first of all, for being that guy.
Hey, thank you for having me.
and of course, thank you for being here. I'd love for you to, tell us a little bit about yourself and some of your journey, maybe to start off.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we'll dive into what is Elevate and how can we all benefit from it.
Absolutely. So I've been in the software development world for a long time. I did consulting work for a long time. I would go in and help these convoluted systems throughout different verticals and try to simplify them as much as possible. I've been in healthcare, and I got really excited about the financial space to the extent where I actually built some algorithmic trading and ended up setting up a hedge fund. And it was stressful, it was daunting, but it was a fun ride to go through that. Until I was introduced to the world of crypto. And so this is back in 2016, I believe, that I really decided to dive in full play all out in the crypto space. I started building algorithmic trading. I started trying to accumulate crypto. I tried to build crypto. Like, there's been so many pieces of the journey that I've been on. And so I get to have that intimate, low-level technology approach to this new world that I think that we're all embarking into. And so I'm the one that I get to demystify that for a lot of people all the time. I love going to some of these events and just interacting with people, getting on Zoom calls, and just trying to simplify and really bring out that it can be super technical. It can be super daunting, but it doesn't have to be all the time. And that's been my goal, and that's what really started me going down the path of starting the Elevate blockchain. And so I've really been doing a lot of development work on that for a while, but it's really been trying to simplify and demystify crypto and how to participate that in these early stages right now. So
let's talk about Elevate. I guess maybe the first question: what is it?
Sure. Well, can I hit something else before we get into that,
yeah.
Stephen? I wanted to get into some of the problems that we were finding out while we were trying to educate people into crypto. So just as Stephen was telling us earlier, there were so many people, especially even just last year. But years ago, it really was like drinking from a fire hose on trying to make sure that am I secure? Am I going to lose all my crypto? Did I just send my children's college education off to some exchange to get some magical, I had a neighbor call it magical monopoly money. And I would help educate people how to do that. But what's interesting is, before we even get into that, it's as simple as just password management. So I know there's a lot of people on. I wanted to I'm going to have everyone kind of do a self-evaluation. So Stephen, will you do this for me too?
Absolutely.
Don't show your hands, but I want everybody to think through this. And I want to do just a little test, okay? So who here has had a Twitter account since 2020? Raise a finger if you have. Who here has had an Adobe account since 2013? Who's had a LinkedIn account since 2012? Who here has had MyFitnessPal is another popular one for working out since 2018? Who's been an account with Target since 2012? That was a big one. Who has been, there was Walmart. Who has a Walmart.com account since the last year? Samsung account. 23andMe is a big one. Recently, some of the Vegas resorts. Who has an online account there? Okay, so we have a few that we have on our right hand. The other big one was, even T-Mobile was another big one. Okay, so keep that number in the back of your mind. Now, this is the one that I don't want you to answer. But of any of those accounts that are online, how many of you use the same password in one of those accounts as your bank? How many of you use the same password as your email address? Those are the two big ones that if you have used any of those previous accounts and you use the same password in either your bank or your email, then as of a year ago, you could have been hacked very easily.
I think everyone's stomachs just dropped.
That's the point.
Out of their bodies.
That's
right
the point. And I've done this. I've gone through this, and I've talked to my wife. I'm like, my wife has used the password. I'm like, are you using that password again right now? Are you serious? And now let me tell you what happened in 2012. 2012, Target. This is November 2012. Target.com had their database hacked. And they didn't leak just email addresses. They leaked email addresses and passwords. And so what really happened is those hackers were able to download a big list of files and then just go randomly to go to Chase Bank, go to Wells Fargo Bank, go to any of these banks. They don't have to hack the bank. They have to just download this simple spreadsheet that had your username and password and try it in a dozen different places. And now they're logged into your bank, able to get your funds. And this is where just password security is a huge deal in crypto because you need to handle your crypto as you would handle cash. Now, there was a big iCloud hack there's been iCloud hacks all over the place. Normally you see, a few years ago, you'd see it in the news that a celebrity would have photos hacked or something like that and they get leaked online or whatever. And that, for a while, there was a lot of hackers that would really try to target that and go for that pot of gold. They call it a honeypot. They're looking for something damaging and then blackmail you. Well, hackers have gotten smarter and they've found they can hit your same iCloud account and they'll look through all your pictures. And they're not looking for scandalous photos anymore. They're looking for passwords.
Looking for credit card, probably.
Passwords and credit cards.
You ever taken a picture of your credit card and sent it to somebody?
Yeah. It's in your iCloud account, and now hackers are just looking to get into your same iCloud account and be able to get that.
Okay, real quick. Sorry, I don't mean to pause you, but hang tight for just a second. I just wanted to congratulate. We just had our first winner of 10,000 win.
Oh, really?
Todd on the Discord. Todd, congratulations. Thanks for participating. Everyone, keep it up. Keep participating. And we're gonna continue on, but huge congratulations to you, Todd.
Thanks.
So password security, huge. Like, how do we do it? Like, what are some of the biggest things?
The biggest thing to just do is make sure that your sacred passwords need to be email and your bank passwords. They just are separate. They're different. You don't use those passwords for anything else. And the third one we're going to talk about is crypto. Any of your crypto systems that you use shouldn't be a password that you use anywhere else. Now, I live in the real world. I would recommend password managers. There's a lot of different ways that you can get around using different passwords for different systems. But if you reuse some passwords in other systems, great. Like, I won't fault you too much. There's good, better, best. But the big ones to change are your email, your bank password, and crypto passwords.
So I have a question because I know I've got a lot of friends who have used password managers. There are some that are, even coming out now that are more blockchain specific sort of password managers and things like that. I don't know if you recommend or if there's things that maybe it's not a recommendation, obviously, because we don't want to give advice or whatever on this. But what are ones that you have seen that have been decent?
There's a few. There's, well, how about this, Stephen? I think that's something we should, we'll bring out to the community, and I think that'll be a good way to go through Discord, because there are some good reputable ones, and there's some that are just overshared and are really too easy to hack. A big one that is used a lot is Chrome, and Chrome is actually secure if your computer's secure.
Interesting.
Because if you have access to your computer, and I can have it all encrypted into my Chrome, but if my password to log onto my computer is ABC123, oh shoot, I better change it now. But if my password for my computer is ABC123 and I left it open, someone just needs to go in, click Chrome, view my passwords, and now they can see it all. It's encrypted by your computer password. So there are some other password managers that are a little bit better, but I think that's something we can definitely bring out to the Discord, so we can have a discussion back and forth on good uses there.
So I love that. So I'm hearing actually three different things. I mean, I'm hearing a lot of different things, but what you said, I think, is number one, your bank password should be totally different than anything else. Mm-hmm. Your email password should be totally different than anything else. And now maybe your computer password. So maybe
no, crypto. Let's just do with crypto.
Gotcha.
Okay?
Gotcha. And then your crypto passwords.
Those are your three.
Got it. Love it.
So after that, then you're taking good steps. And another thing that I like to do is make it a challenge that, we had my family and I had a scare of that we wanted to become more prepared 5 or 10 years ago. So every September, we really go through and look for opportunities to do food storage, have extra toilet paper, so when COVID hits that we're prepared, paper towels. We really evaluate that every September. I do the same thing that in December and in June, every 6 months, I just reevaluate and just look at my passwords and just say, oh, look, I should probably recycle this one. I should recycle that one. That alone, just even once a year, is way better than having the same password you've had since 2012 when Target got hacked. And anything is better than nothing. So the first thing that you can really do is just start today, is just update those ones and get something new there.
Now, in terms of password management, I've often been told the very best thing is to just go back to analog, right? Like get out of the digital world. Don't save your passwords anywhere digitally, whether it's a password manager or not. Just write it down in a book and put that book in a safe.
Well,
what do you think about that?
I actually like that. I really like little journal-esque type books. I have a few of these that I like. I've given them to my children, and they turn into, these are my password books. And the only thing that's in them is I put important passwords if it's something weird that I'm not going to be able to remember. If you copy and paste it right into, if I copy my really important bank password and put it into my notes on my Apple, and then my Apple password is ABC123, you're in trouble. And so just really think through where you're putting it. And so analog is fantastic. I love these books. And I had this conversation with my brother. Well, you have a book, it's paper. What happens if my house burns down?
There's fireproof safe, right?
Fireproof safe, but these things are really inexpensive. This is a fireproof envelope, and you toss your notebook into your fireproof envelope, you roll it up, and this will actually withstand burning paper for they're really impressive. They're on Amazon, they're at I think they're even at like Walmart. But get a little fireproof bag if you're really worried about your house burning down. But there are ways around that. Fireproof safes are great. Redundancy, if you want to duplicate it and put somewhere, you want to go Breaking Bad and bury it in the desert and then take the GPS coordinate. I mean, you can go as crazy as you really want to go. But the first step is not to get too crazy. Do something simple. Update 3 passwords. Write them down in a book, and then put it somewhere that you know is a little bit safe.
Yeah, I love that. And I like this option here. I actually didn't even know that existed. That's a cool option, and one that's probably not anywhere near as cost prohibitive as a safe.
Well,
or something
even if
like
you
that.
haven't a fireproof safe, I'd still recommend it, because I've done some research into this. Fireproof safes, a house burns down, firefighters will go in and open it, and you'll see paper inside a fireproof safe, even fire rated, that are still singed. It still gets warm. It still cooks. And so even inside a fireproof safe, a fire bag is just, it's a really inexpensive alternative. And just it's easy. Just do it.
That's great. Great. So, okay. So password security, huge thing, obviously, for us all to be concerned about and understand. So where do we go next? Like what?
So password security.
Yep.
The second thing, when you get into crypto, the first thing that you do, if you've been here before already, you've already bought a node, you're already into the system, and what's the third thing you do? What's the first thing you do when you get signed up with Connect?
You create your account and create your wallet.
Create your wallet.
Yep.
Now, who here has created a wallet, and who here, once you create your wallet, they have something that's called a mnemonic. Mnemonic, backup phrase, 12 keyword phrase. Yep. These are all the same words for the same thing. They're called mnemonics. And it is 12 words that essentially is your crypto. It's not the Connect account. It's not the Elevate account. It's not any other brand's account. It's not your Coinbase wallet. It's nothing. Those words are your crypto. And so I recommend, I really am a big fan of storing your crypto on cold storage devices. Here's a couple examples. This is a Trezor and this is a Ledger device. But at the end of the day, these same devices are just that same private key. It is those 12 words. And I can't tell you, I've been in this space for so long, and the first thing that I see people do is they see those words and it says deliberately, write this down in a notebook, write it on paper. And I watch people grab their phone and click it. And going back to the iCloud hacks, what's happening? Hackers are looking for passwords, but it's real easy to put in a filter, detect 12 words, detect 24 words, and that's your key. That is literally like getting a big fireproof safe and writing the combination on a Post-it note and putting it right on front of it. Don't put it in the cloud. Don't put it in your notes app. Write it down. Write it down. If you don't hear anything else from me today, it is password and make sure your mnemonic is on paper. And
let's dive a little bit into that mnemonic phrase, because I don't know if everyone really understands that. Obviously, people that have been here for a while, been in the space for a while, they know. Anyone that's new doesn't, I don't think, really understand what that means. I mean, it's like having a laser gun into the vault of a bank, right? I mean, that where you could at any time, any place, get access. That's what that mnemonic key is. And so if I were to get a hold of anyone else's 12-word seed phrase, I could essentially go into any platform that I want to that allows me to import using those 12 words, and I could take all of the crypto. And it doesn't matter what wallet it's in for them, right? I mean, basically that's what we're saying. So it doesn't matter. I don't need their passwords anymore. I don't need their encryption codes anymore. Like, I don't need any of that. If I have the 12 words, I can access it anywhere I want to.
Treat it as if it's your most important password.
Yeah.
It is, you don't need a password. You don't need anything. If you have those 12 words, you have the crypto. It is literally like having the cash in your pocket if you have those 12 words. You can take any of the 12 words. There's multiple tools out there that you can go in and import those 12 words into another wallet to run locally and access that crypto in any way you want. It is a standard practice on most blockchains. We'll use a mnemonic, but it is standard practice that mnemonic is the base for your. And it seems what's weird is we've gotten into this phase that your password has to be characters, and it has to be camel case, and it has to have a number and uppercase, and you get all these weird passwords that look all this long, and it's like, how can these 12 words be more secure than this crazy password that was generated on the fly, and it is. That mnemonic is more secure than these huge passwords that you're able to generate. And so the mnemonic is secure, your crypto is secure, but us as humans are not secure. So as soon as you take that and you put it in your iCloud, you put it on your Notes app, I was on a live, there was a webinar with there was a Ethereum influencer. This is in 2019, I believe. He was on a live and someone hacked his crypto. And while he was doing trading on his YouTube channel live, the hacker was pulling his crypto out one at a time, watching. And so he's watching his account drain in front of his eyes while he's on the live.
Can you imagine
It
that?
was the worst. I felt so bad for him. And he lost so much crypto. And it's gone up like a ton since then. So, I mean, I could tell you story upon story of the times that just simple password and mnemonic practice is just, and it's just writing it down. It's really not difficult if you just take the 10 minutes to just properly secure it, and then you'll be good to go. Now, we've been talking about security and best practices in crypto for so long. I really want to go into why I'm so passionate about that and what that relates to Elevate and why am I even here. So
and before we do that, Hunter on Instagram, huge congratulations. Just won our second $10,000 win giveaway.
Nice.
And by the way, that's coming directly from a Win blockchain community member. So anyway, thanks for participating. Congratulations, Hunter. Go ahead. Back to you.
Thank you. So being in crypto, I've been through the trenches. I've been through times that exchanges have come, they've gone. I've participated personally in maybe watched 3 exchanges and seen friends of mine crypto lost when the exchanges go under. I've seen a time where you didn't even have these mnemonics with 12 phrases. You had to literally write out this huge private key. And if you did a lowercase d or as an uppercase D, or it looks now like a P instead of a D, it's gone. You wrote it down wrong, and nobody can recover it. You messed up, and it's gone. I have a dear, dear, dear friend who was paid 500 Bitcoin back in 2012. And they can see it. They can go to the Block Explorer. That's my Bitcoin right there.
Oh my gosh.
And they don't have the key anymore. It's gone. It's lost. Just breaks my heart. I mean, 500 Bitcoin. What's Bitcoin at today?
I mean, let's just do the math because this.
You got to. It just kills me every time.
Let's just do this. So you said 500 Bitcoin.
500 Bitcoin.
So it's right now at 65,000.
And he got this for just doing a job, like doing a little server work back in 2012.
That's $32,500,000.
$32 million.
I mean, that hurts my soul.
It kills me. And I feel bad, but like that's literally how it was back in 2015, 2016, 2017. It was way more difficult. And so as I've gone through this journey, I'm the tech guy that I can handle this stuff. I can make sure it's secure. I can educate people, but when it becomes too daunting that it's not usable for anybody, it's not going to go. It's not going to hit the masses. It can be too technical. And it has come leaps and bounds since then. It really has. But there still is a fear. There still is a learning curve that people get intimidated by. And so what I decided is there are ways that we want to try to simplify this for as many people, to really just bring crypto to the masses. That's my dream, is to make it as simple as possible to bring crypto to the masses. Now, I also have some financial background, and I love to participate in projects that are brand new, but those aren't always on the mainstream exchanges. They're not always on Binance. They're not always on Coinbase. I can't tell you how many family members I've had that says, "Hey, I watched this webinar the other day of Switch. It's awesome. How do I get some of those?" And I say, "Hey, go find someone and let's get you a node." Like, well, I just want to buy a few tokens. I just want to I just want a taste of it a little bit. How do you do that? And that's the gap that Elevate is really trying to bridge. We're trying to simplify it, but we're trying to really make all these simple projects accessible to everybody else. And so by what we've done is we've made tools, and we have put those tools into your node. So when you run a node, an Elevate node, you're supporting a blockchain, just like a lot of the projects that Connect interacts with and Connect features. But your node with Elevate actually has software that lets you go out and find in the decentralized exchanges that haven't hit the Binance, it hasn't hit Coinbase, it hasn't hit Kraken, or all the other mainstream exchanges. These fledgling projects, you're able to go and buy some of these crypto rewards, and the Elevate node lets you do that on your behalf. It's really cool.
Wow, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, we're really proud of it.
So I mean, gosh, there's probably so much that's into that, and that obviously there's a lot of technicality in the background. But from what I'm understanding, you've got this node where you can now take advantage of some of these lesser known exchanges, or maybe more decentralized type of exchanges, to be able to participate in those projects. Because, again, if you're brand new to this kind of space, there are a lot of different exchanges out there. There are a handful of very well-known decentralized exchanges, and a handful of really well-known centralized exchanges. Most of the world looks to the centralized exchanges just because of because their notoriety, right? They're out there. There's volume and liquidity and all sorts of things that are happening on those exchanges. But a lot of the, in my opinion, right, a lot of the true crypto seeker, or the true blockchainers, right, they love the decentralized world. They love transacting there because they don't want a middleman. And a centralized exchange is essentially still a middleman.
So
right?
If you get the real crypto enthusiast, what do? I want economic sovereignty. I love this term, economic sovereignty, where I'm taking control of my finances, of my crypto. And what they do is they go out and they find a platform to go and buy crypto. So now I have crypto and I put it in my Connect wallet. And now what do I do is, okay, cool. Now I have Ethereum, I have Bitcoin. Now what do I do with it? And they realize, oh crap. Well, I guess I better send that crypto now to a centralized exchange so that I can buy some rewards or buy some tokens somewhere else, I guess. I guess that's what I need to do next. I send it back over to Coinbase so that I can buy rewards for it. Well, that was a common practice last year when FTX went under. It was one of the top exchanges. Yeah. And then it went under. A lot of crypto people are getting out of that centralized world, holding onto my keys, securing them the right way, and then turning around and sending it back to a centralized location. What the Elevate node is doing is it keeps all the funds in your wallet. That's why one of our taglines is, if it's not your keys, it's not your crypto. If you send it to an exchange, they're the ones holding it. And sure, it shows your balance there, but if they get hacked, if they get shut down, if they did something wrong, it's not always insured. And so we like to really keep crypto in your wallet, and there are tools out there. They're called decentralized exchanges, and you're able to transact with your own wallet, but it's just daunting. It's scary. And that's the part of the Elevate is really trying to simplify, is to bring those exchanges, those tools to the masses.
That's awesome. Huge congratulations to Jacqueline. Jacqueline on Twitter won the next 10,000 win. That's awesome. And again, guys, for me, I love the number 10,000 just because most people that are in this space understand that with Bitcoin, one of the first kind of open public transactions that was recorded was someone buying 2 pizzas with 10,000 Bitcoin, So there you are. You got 10,000 win there, Jacqueline. Very exciting. So, okay. Gosh, a lot of excitement. I mean, I feel a massive amount of excitement for what Elevate's going to bring, simplifying kind of the decentralized exchange world, simplifying the ability for someone to go in and access some of those digital rewards before they hit the bigger exchanges, when they're still maybe young, like you said, these kind of fledgling projects as they're just getting started. Before they do whatever they're going to do, right?
That's right.
Which is really fun and exciting. How does someone? Well, maybe I'll just take this real quick, and then you can talk more about it. If you don't already have an Elevate node, get one. Like we are in the early stages right now of
launching
the Elevate blockchain project as a whole. If you don't have a node, please jump in. You can go into your dashboard and connect again and grab a node, and then you're early. Like that's the neat thing about this. Like you said, is this project is just barely launching. So
we're in a closed beta right now with our technology and we are so close. I can't tell you. I mean, I can hardly sleep at night. How excited I am to be able to really share this and get every single person running their Elevate node right now. It will simplify it all for you, and I love it. I'm really proud of it, and we've worked really hard on it. So
that's awesome. Okay, so we want to open it up now for some Q&A. I know that again we've got a great group here today. I'm going to go ahead and open up. I've got my phone on here. If you've got questions, if you've got things you'd like us to kind of touch on, if you're maybe confused still a little bit about security and what you can do better, or how you can participate, or anything about Elevate and the Elevate project, let's go ahead and. Oh, someone's asking, how do you get to Elevate?
How do you get to Elevate?
Yeah.
So easiest way right now is through your Connect portal, going through, and that's how you participate in getting a Connect node. ElevateUnited.com is our website. We have some more instructions there. That's where we'll have links to everything else.
Is there a current Discord for Elevate?
Separate Discord? We are brand new.
Okay.
And so our Discord is fledgling. Please go join the Discord, Elevate Discord. We're going to be participating a lot more into the Connects, Elevate. There's a subfolder inside Connects Discord for Elevate. We're going to be participating in there quite a bit more as well. We're the Elevate's the self-acclaimed geeks that we've had a tendency to put our heads under the sand for a while and really build some really cool tech, and we're emerging to get out and really help people secure and do best practices in this space.
I love it. Here's another question. Is Elevate an active exchange?
It's not. So that's, we actually, we had a fun story. We explored this at one point. We explored possibly running and building our own exchange. We had a beta or alpha version of it at one point, and we were taking some ideas of whether we should even launch this. And it just became, one, it became a big hassle, but two, it just wasn't, there are other people that are out there that are already building exchanges on this front, and the regulation side of it was a little rocky. And so we just decided, look, we're just going to leave that one alone. And we call ourselves exchange aggregators. We are, with your node, it will go through and it will find the right exchange to get you the best rate for that you're trying to buy. It scours multiple blockchains, exchanges, everything. And things that are just under the cover that we really try to educate more as time goes on. And I'm going to have a full other training video just that dives really deep into this, but there are front-running bots out there that are looking at both centralized and decentralized exchanges. And we have protection from that front-running, so you really are getting the best price when you go and have your Elevate node running.
Can you explain what front-running is?
Front-running is...
I don't know if anyone knows what that means.
There's many situations. There's books that are written on... if you've ever heard the book Flash Boys, that there was a group, hedge fund group, that would watch for orders being placed in Chicago, and these groups actually drilled through the mountains and was able to beat the electronic signal going up north before it hit the New York Stock Exchange. We're talking milliseconds here. But because they knew that you were placing the order in Chicago, and they were able to, it's called front running, where they were able to beat you to the New York Stock Exchange, place their order first, and get in front of you, get a better price, and then sell it to you, and then sell out. And so it was fractions of pennies, but you do that hundreds of thousand times a day, and it's pulling tons and tons of money out. We've seen that happen in the crypto space, and we have tools built into the Elevate node that do not allow that front running to happen.
That's powerful.
It's really cool. So you could, if you set your setting, if you started playing in the decentralized world, and let's say you wanted to play in Uniswap, and you didn't set your settings correctly, it's possible for you to put in $100 and you pay 30% more than you should have just because your settings were wrong. And so like we put a lot of that protection behind the scenes, and we're really, that's one of the pieces we're really proud about.
That's awesome. So, okay. We're obviously, encouraging people all over the world to participate in Elevate. Mm-hmm. One of the questions I think, and I'm interpreting this just a little bit, but it is can the Elevate node help people in the U.S. as well as globally? And does it take all of those different types of exchanges into account? Because, I mean, we know that there are, for example, with Binance, there's Binance US and then Binance the rest of the world, basically, right? Mm-hmm. And there are other exchanges that do similar things. Does it take into account kind of where you're living and which exchanges you're allowed to use and all that kind of stuff?
So everything here is all in the decentralized world. It's all peer-to-peer.
Awesome.
And so there's no KYC requirements. There's no geolocating. There's no there's none of that. And so the decentralized exchanges are they're smart contracts that are out on chain. And so we just participate directly with the smart contracts that are out there. And so that's one of the reasons that we didn't want to get running our own exchange, because of locations and generate all that stuff. And so we've just said, look, we're going to aggregate everything that's out there already. And if there's a regulatory problem with the decentralized exchanges, then the regulatory body should hit the decentralized exchange. We're just going to participate with everything that's out there.
That's awesome. Great. Well, I think that's all the questions. I don't see any other questions that have come through just yet. And so unless there's anything else from you all, again, we're happy to field anything, but maybe just a couple of final words. Why would you tell someone right now to jump in on the Elevate project?
So the Elevate project, we're brand new. We have some really cool tech that's built directly into the node, that you get, as you participate in it, you get rewarded for running your Elevate node and supporting the blockchain, but also for for supporting these other projects and buying your favorite cryptos. We are brand new, and we are coming out, and we're all guns a-blazing here. So if you want to participate in a brand new crypto project that simplifies it for the masses, come join us in Elevate. We would love to have you be an active participant in our community. Help us. I am open, and I want as much community participation as we can to build our node to hit different exchanges, different scenarios. What do you guys want to see? What would be next? And we're open, but we have awesome tech built in that we're going out the door with a product. And so
Yeah. So get in now. Have a few more questions that came through as you were kind of talking about some stuff.
Yeah.
But before we go into that, I do want to say congratulations to Hunter in Discord.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, that's awesome. You must be really fast and very much participating in what you're doing. I love it. Congratulations on that 10,000 win.
The winner.
That is fantastic. So maybe a few more questions. Let me go through here. So someone is saying they see a lot of similarities in their mind anyway, between or with Elevate and Switch. I guess they're wondering, what are the biggest differences that you can kind of point out that differentiates Elevate from Switch?
Great question. We get this a lot, and I love Switch. I work with Brad all the time, Kathy, many people on the Switch team. I think they're one of my favorite crypto projects. If you haven't been participating in Switch already, I mean, they are awesome. Switch is all about banking. If you want debit cards, if you want bank accounts, if you want, they are that centralized side. They're embracing that, and they're using that to try to bring that to the masses. And I have a Switch card. I am participating with Switch as well. We are trying to participate more in the new fledgling projects that aren't big enough to get onto that banking side, to get onto to be on a debit card. We are the ones that that want to be more of a well, we call it swapping. We want you to be able to swap different tokens in and out on decentralized exchanges. And so everything that is done through Switch is done through KYC, it's done through banking, and we're the decentralized side to their centralized side. So similar finance in some ways, just from a very eagle-eye broad view, but it's different on that once you get into it.
That's great. Let's see here. A couple things. Someone's asking about, will there be light nodes available? I think the answer right now is no.
No light nodes right
now. Let's see here. So I just want to make sure I don't miss anything. Maybe I'll just talk to a couple different things, because I think I already mentioned it. Right now, the distribution isn't going, right? It hasn't started yet. And so there's no reason for someone that has a node right now to run it yet. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so if you have a node, you don't need to run it yet. There will be communication that will come out talking about when you need to start those and get those on and running so that you're prepared. And usually there's ample time, obviously, for everyone. So if you've got a node right now, or if you're buying a node today or whatever, you don't need to run that node yet, right? Just wait.
That's right.
Just wait for that communication. Let's see here.
And that will be coming forth really soon.
Yep. Someone asked, and this is a good question, how do I find the address for my wallet?
How do you find your... It depends on which system you're coming from. So if you are... The easiest answer is most wallets, they say send, and you're asking for your information. And there's another tab that'll say receive. That receive normally will show a QR code as a standard practice. You can copy and paste your address there. And I'm talking Ethereum side here. If you're Bitcoin, you can have a single Bitcoin wallet that has multiple addresses in it. So, but normally kind of the go-to is go to receive my crypto, and that's normally your wallet address. Big caveat though here. Don't do that for your centralized exchanges. Don't go to your Coinbase app and say receive, and this is my address now. That's not your address. And if you have questions about that, if you're talking about an exchange wallet or Coinbase or any of these, and you're saying this is my wallet address, it's not. This is if you hold your keys. This is in any of the Connect spaces. So there is a distinction there.
Awesome. A few questions about the distribution. They just want to be clear. So distribution hasn't started. Is there a date yet for the starting of the distribution?
There's not a date yet. We had some small snafus happening this last week with our software that we are going out to market with, and we will be notifying the community about that distribution date here very soon.
Okay, so no date on
Hang
the books
tight.
just
We'll
yet.
get to you really quickly. We will be there soon.
Okay, awesome. And then let's see here. I think, so someone said, in the event I wish to purchase a token or coin, digital asset, that is available via a DEX, am I able to purchase via Elevate?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. That's our goal.
Great question there. Good answer. I'm sorry. I just want to make sure I don't miss anything here.
No problem. Hey, I love all the questions. And we really are inside our Elevate app, inside our Elevate website, we're going to be putting more and more, in fact, we're going to be sharing more information into the Connect Academy as well, but we have we've been curating lots of really cool best practices in security, in decentralized exchanges, whether you use Elevate Node or not, how to what to do, how to get there. We're going to be posting more and more of these on the Elevate United website. And so look forward to that as well. We'll be posting that in our Discord, all our social medias as we start growing those communities as well. So we really are looking for active participants that love markets, that love crypto, and really getting the word out of how to participate and do that in a really secure yet easy manner.
That's awesome. Will Elevate be as robust as 1inch? Is the question. And then it said follow-up is, does Elevate have the desire to build liquidity pools similar to Balancer? I don't know what that is, but maybe you do.
Wow. So we have a crypto expert right there. 1inch is a smart contract that aggregates and sends it across all over the different exchanges. They also put in a bunch of fees, and they also will let some front running happen at the same time. And so there's been some known documentation on some of these aggregators and how they are being manipulated a little bit the last 2 years. And so we do Elevate right now out the door. It does do some aggregation, but depending on what you want to set your bot to do, it goes cross chain, which these aggregators can't do. 1inch keeps it onto a chain for a single transaction. And so we have the ability to be able to go cross chain. We can put some of it on the Binance chain, some of it over onto the Ethereum side without the need of a costly bridge in transit. And so we are doing some of that. Balancer and some of these other ones, they can get very expensive. And so we're trying to, we're evaluating these, Elevate is the cutting edge on a lot of this technology. And so we will be always innovating to what tools are out there. And even, we've been exploring even partnerships with some of these projects as well, because it just makes sense to find like-minded people that want to be part of these communities. Balancer has done really well at the same time as to be able to do some of the liquidity pool side. We do want to do some liquidity pool adding. That's not going to be out at launch, but we want to make it easy to do liquidity adding and even reward people that if you just want to hodl and you have some crypto, you want to just hold on to it, and I want to see what it's going to do for the next 5 years, you can put it to work a little bit, and Elevate can help you add it to liquidity pools, and Elevate can reward you for that. That is on our roadmap, and that is one of our plans right now.
I love it. Well, friends, that about wraps us up for today. Thank you, everyone, for your participation, for being here. Again, congratulations to our digital reward winners. Huge congratulations to you. That's awesome for your participation. Brant, Frank, thank you so much for being with us today.
My pleasure.
That's been fantastic, and obviously this won't be the last time we hear from you.
Absolutely.
Really excited about Elevate. Again, if you're not yet participating in the Elevate blockchain, go grab your Elevate node. It is time. Right now, you don't want to wait until distribution started and things are already going down the road. If you're like me anyway, you want to get in at the very beginning and run your node from the very start. And so if you'd like to participate that way, go into your Connect United account, purchase that node. There are a variety of different options for purchasing nodes. You can use USDT, I believe, or USDC in the purchase process. You can obviously go through the Switch Pay and get a NFT voucher for that, utilizing like a credit or debit card. That's an option currently. And then there are also options, I think, right now to use Win for certain nodes. And so all of them are there. Go through. If you like to purchase an Elevate Smart node, get in there and make it happen. Friends, thank you so much. Again, Brant, thanks for being here. You guys are awesome. Happy blockchaining. We'll see you on the next one.
Thanks, you guys.